1 2 3 4. Test 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 4. Test 1 2 3 4.
Testing. How do you pronounce Jason's last name? Mishra? Yes. Got it?
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome into the campus of St. John's College High School for a WCAC baseball matchup today between the Gonzaga Eagles and the homebound St. John's Cadets. Connor Newcomb with you here for this one, joined by my partner, Evan Flax. And Evan, it's been a good start to the season for St. John's. Obviously, they had a tough start to the year against a tough Spalding team, but in conference, it's probably the best test they've faced so far.
Yeah, a couple early on games where they had an opportunity to get the offense going, facing some pitchers that didn't really test the middle of their lineup too much, but looking for that opportunity here today, see how they fare. I'm expecting some good things out of this cadet lineup.
Yeah, Ethan Mishra is going to get the start, the right-hander for St. John's. The senior is out there on his home turf today to take on these Gonzaga Eagles, who have had a tough start to their season. They've lost a couple of close games over the last couple of weeks and looking to come in here and pick up what would be a huge win on the road. St. John's in the home reds today, Gonzaga in the black and purple on the road. But Mishra, this St. John's team has a whole lot of arms, but when he is at his best, he can be considered potentially the ace of the staff.
Yeah, I had the fortunate opportunity to coach him when he was an incoming freshman, and then the summer between his freshman and sophomore year. And you could tell right then that he really had something special. He had size right from the get-go, and then once he started to get his mechanics in order, his velocity jumped. He started to find the strike zone a little bit more, and he proved to be a real strong right-hander for the Cadets.
And he's going to face a little bit of a tougher lineup than his pitchers have seen over the last couple of games, but leading it off for Gonzaga is Jake Gupton, the center fielder. He hits from the right-handed batter's box. We are underway. First pitch is popped up foul over top of the St. John's dugout. A 4:35 Eastern Time start here on a Tuesday afternoon in the district. The St. John's team coming in at 3-0-1. They had a tie against Spalding to start the year. Since then, 3 W's in a row, as that's a ball taken below the knees as the count evens at 1-1. Mishra on the mound today, 6'4", 205 senior out of right here in D.C. as he fires one towards the outer half for a strike, and the count goes to 1-2. As I mentioned, one of the many talented arms on this St. John's team, a VCU commit. He'll head to Richmond next year to play for the Rams. 1-2, and he held up on a breaking ball in the dirt, and the count evens at 2-2.
The battery for St. John's headed to Richmond next year for college. Casey Gibbs behind the plate, headed there as well.
These two will be working together for a while as 2-2 misses inside and the count goes full. As you mentioned, Gibbs is the catcher today. Rest of the infield defense, Allen is at third base, Scavone at short, Martin at second, and Simpson at first for the Cadets. 3-2 is high, and that's a leadoff walk to Jake Gupton as he gets himself on base to start the day for Gonzaga. Not probably the start that Ethan Mishra wanted right there.
That 2-2 pitch was pretty close, just on the inner half, and wasn't given that third strike he was looking for in the middle of the count.
Yeah, he looked like he was pretty close on the 0-2 and the 2-2 as well. Tried to hit both corners. It's a close play over at first, and he just dove in safely. As if you're Jake Gupton, you get yourself a leadoff walk to start the game. You cannot go getting yourself picked off, and that was a pretty nice move from the right-hander. It's a pretty advanced move, really, for the high school level as well.
Yeah, quick feet for being a fairly tall, lanky guy up there on the bump.
Goes over again, and he had him lean a little bit again. That one not as close, but keeping his eye on Jake Gupton. Rest of that St. John's defense, Don Ballas is the left fielder in this one. DM Jefferson plays center field today, and they've got Corey Hatcher out in right for the Cadets. The DH is Braden Martin in this one. Pitch in the dirt, nice block back there, and a throw down to first, and they are keeping their eyes all over the runner, Jake Gupton. A stolen base threat after the leadoff walk. Nice stop back there from Gibbs, as the batter is Will Carr, the left fielder for the Eagles, hitting from the left side.
You'll see Casey Gibbs do that from time to time. He's got a rocket for an arm back there, but even more important, his outfielders are always moving to back up. Corey Hatcher there in right field did a great job to get behind the first baseman and really give Gibbs that peace of mind to let one loose down the first baseline.
So he misses with the next one, and the count goes to 2-0. This is already the third appearance for Mishra in 5 games this season. Of course, game's pretty spread out, and he's not like he's going 6-7 innings in any of these games, so he's been able to be on the mound a few times for this team. Pitched last week against St. Mary's Riken in 4 innings, no hits, no runs, 5 strikeouts, and made quick work in that double-digit run St. John's win. Runner goes on 2-0, pitches high, throw down to second, fired in there, and they got him. Nice pick at shortstop there from Schiavone, and on a one hop, he scoops it out and applies the tag.
Great throw there from Gibbs, and just like we talked about on the third out of first, he's ready to fire it in there. Schiavone, a great job there to apply the tag, and really helping out a slightly struggling Mishra right now.
Yeah, that pitch was high. It made it 3-0. And here is that 3-0 delivery. A swing and a miss. Let it loose. And, even if Gupton's still at first right now, I mean, you're in danger of 2 on and nobody out with another walk, but nice throw from Gibbs. And there is your walk. So second walk of the day, as he got ahead of the first batter, Gupton, and then kind of lost him on some borderline pitches. He wasn't too close to the zone there to Will Carr. So Mishra's going to have to take a deep breath here as the number 3 man is stepping in for Gonzaga, as it is their shortstop here, Nicholas Moribito.
I'm a big fan of that 3-0 swing there. First inning, at that point, nobody on. A guy who's struggling, maybe just going to fire a fastball right there.
There's a breaking ball that chopped up the third baseline and foul. And I mean, he was obviously expecting fastball in the zone. That's what he got. Just it was elevated. It's honestly a pretty good 3-0 pitch. And he was trying to put one over that high wall in right field.
Would have been a pretty good 0-2 pitch.
Yeah.
Right where it was situated.
Yeah, got himself a swing and a miss on the elevated fastball, which is, of course, what scouts, what college recruiters, what everybody's looking for now, is if you can throw that high fastball, that is 2021 baseball's big-time strikeout pitch to play off kind of the down-and-away breaker.
Yeah, that and Mike Trout taught everybody that it's cool to hit the low fastball.
Yeah.
So now nobody wants to hit the low fastball anymore. Now nobody wants to throw the low fastball anymore.
There's one that just misses, and the count's 1-1. So we're not seeing a obtuse strike zone by any means so far today. So Mishra's going to have to work to get it in the zone, and we'll see if Gonzaga here in the first inning continues to wait him out. He throws over to first, and a nice snag there from Simpson. 2 walks so far, but the leadoff walk to Gupton erased on a caught stealing as we sit 0-0 in the top of the first inning. And Nicholas Moribito is the batter from the right side. Bit of an open stance for the right-hander. Another throw over to first base. St. John's obviously, came into this game expecting Gonzaga to run. I'm sure it was in the Mark Gibbs scouting report that this team likes to run. They've already tried it once, and they've already been caught once. They run again. That pitch in the dirt, and that's going to be a stolen base. So good pitch to run on, and Will Carr swipes second. And he gets himself into scoring position with 1 away.
It's right here where you might expect Casey Gibbs as a catcher to go out and talk to Ethan right now and just settle him down and get back in the zone. I mean, he throws hard enough. His ball has enough life to it where if he just finds the strike zone, he's going to get a lot of outs real consistently.
Yeah, you can't imagine Gonzaga's going to be in much of swing mode right now. But fouls off a pitch that Mishra definitely found the zone again. And just good velocity on the fastball, and he was able to get a piece as it's 2-2.
Moribito's right on that.
Yeah,
it timed up perfectly.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't say they're in take mode, but they're in dead red fastball mode, you would think right now. 2-2. And he takes in the dirt. He's been able to lay off that breaking ball a couple of times that Mishra has thrown it so far.
It's almost like it's either starting too low in the zone and it's not worth, going after, or they're just seeing it out of the hand.
Yeah, it's too early in the game for them to be, picking up any clues on when it's coming, but, maybe they are just seeing it well. He'll turn to second, but won't throw. And you're right, it could just be, it's got to start a strike, go strike the ball. Maybe it's just starting below the knees and hasn't been as competitive. 3-2. He got him. Dropped the breaking ball from a ball to a strike that time. And it was another 3-ball count, but Mishra gets his first strikeout of the day.
Now, would you believe that what I was going to say was that, unfortunately, this early in the game, when you haven't established that curveball as a strike, it's very easy to pick up that spin right out of the hand and immediately lay off, especially when you're ahead in the count, knowing you're not going to want to hit anything other than a fastball. But right there, he proved he can put it right in the zone, and he did it in a 2-strike count.
That's what takes you to the next level as a pitcher right there, especially at the high school level. If you can still trust that pitch when it hasn't been your friend and you've walked 2 straight batters to throw it 3-2. And he does just that for the second out, as that one is laced out to right center field. Got a whole lot of carry way back at the wall, and that one is gone. 2-run home run for Greg Kopp. And he's given Gonzaga an early 2-0 lead. And he was definitely sitting on the fastball there. And that wasn't a cheapie down the line. He got that ball into the gap and over the big wall in right center. And the Eagles on the board early. Big swing there from the Eagles catcher. A sweet lefty swing for a 2-run homer. First runs allowed by the senior Ethan Mishra this season. So he will now face another lefty in Marcus Leclaire, the first baseman.
Yeah, Kopp was right on that pitch. He knew that fastball was coming, knew Mishra was going to want to try and get ahead early in the count, and he took advantage of it.
That one's in there for a strike, and the count is 0-2. I will say from our home plate umpire today, it is not a lot of frills on the balls and strike calls. It is arm up, arm not up. That's all we got as the breaking ball misses inside, and it's 1-2.
The other day against Paul VI, the umpire just kind of walked away whenever it was strike 3. So this is a little bit more direct.
They went with the high fastball there. And that was a 2-1 pitch. The count evens at 2-2.
Sometimes his simplicity makes it hard to tell whether or not he's calling balls and strikes.
2-2. Tried to elevate even further. That one misses high, and it's a full count here to Marcus Leclaire.
Mishra's getting that pitch count up early.
Yeah, he's thrown a 3-ball count to all but one batter. And that one's high for ball 4. Third walk of the inning for Ethan Mishra. Again, the only batter he hasn't gone to a 3-ball count was Greg Kopp, who swung at the first pitch and hit a 2-run homer. And that's going to bring a meeting on the mound here. 3 walks, a strikeout, a caught stealing, and a 2-run bomb in the inning. And it has been smooth sailing coming into today for Mishra in his first 2 appearances of the year, but not the case today.
Yeah, pitching coach Tom Ballinger is going to get out there and just try and figure out what's going on, maybe tell a light story, lighten things up there around the infield, and see if Mishra can just get right back to the zone, get ahead in the count, get his ender here, and get the cadets in there for an offensive half.
It's not like it's been, a bunch of 3-0 walks. I mean, he's been ahead of 2 of the 3 guys he's walked, and just hasn't been able to put them away.
Unfortunately, he had a couple guys there where he had first base open, so you don't want to give up too good of a pitch when you have 1 out or 2 out and a man on second base for an easy 2-strike base hit. But sometimes you got to work a little bit closer to the zone to get some swinging strikes. He's just been a little bit too far away from it.
Here's Bryson Moore in the right-handed batter's box, and he takes a strike. Counts 0-1. Bryson Moore, the third baseman for this Gonzaga team, who is having pretty much a dream start to the game here against Mishra. 2 runs on the board already. They're still up as Gibbs thought about a back pick as the breaking ball misses outside for ball 1.
It's not often you see guys with that kind of power in high school. That shot was a pretty long way out there to right center.
Yeah, Kopp, who hit that 2-run homer, senior, headed to Hamilton College next year. So he'll be playing below the Division I level, but still will play some college baseball. Of course, got one off of Mishra, the VCU commit. Another throw over. That one was a little closer, but he's back in there safely. And the runner is Marcus Leclaire after his 2-out walk. And the batter is Bryson Moore, the sophomore third baseman.
At the rate Mishra's throwing over, it becomes high risk, high reward. If he does get the guy, it elevates the team more than you could even imagine as a defender. But it elevates the opportunity for that one that gets thrown away and gives Gonzaga that opportunity with 2 outs.
So now 2-1 to Bryson Moore. These two may see each other down the road as well, as he misses up high 3-1. Bryson, a UVA commit, went to Virginia in a couple years. Of course, the Rams, the VCU, and the Cavaliers, known to play at least a couple of midweek games in the college baseball season. But 3-1 now for Mishra. He throws over again. Again, it was pretty close, but Leclaire gets the hand in. Between the throwovers, which obviously aren't full velocity tosses, and all the 3-ball counts, as we've got another one here to Moore. A lot more than usual wear and tear on the arm in inning number 1. As that one's hit hard to left field. Alice is under it, though, and he's got it for the final out of the inning. That ball was hit hard, too, from Bryson Moore, but it is the 3rd out for Mishra, but not before a 2-run homer from Greg Kopp has given Gonzaga a 2-0 lead. St. John's bats coming up when we come back. To the bottom of the first inning we go here from St. John's College High School. Connor Newcomb, Evan Flax with you here for this one. Nice top of the first for the Eagles. A 2-run home run from the catcher Greg Kopp makes it a 2-0 game. Now the St. John's lineup with a chance to answer here. And the first pitch is fouled away over top of the Gonzaga dugout. The pitcher for Gonzaga in this one is the junior right-hander, Noah Pothom. Number 11 uniform, and a little bit of a sidewinder from the right side. It comes from maybe a little below 3/4 as that one misses low for ball 1. So kind of a funky delivery for these Cadets hitters to face here early in this game.
Most likely has a little bit of arm side run on his fastball. Would expect he probably throws a slider that sweeps across the zone. So the idea here, as the left-handed hitter, trying to hit a line drive right over the shortstop's head or pull one of those sliders.
That pitch in there. It's 2-2. The one good thing about facing kind of a funky guy like this, as you said, most of the guys who throw from this slot are going to have a pretty similar arsenal, because you throw from this slot to get a slider with a lot of spin and a lot of run. 2-2. There was a breaking ball, and it missed outside to run the count full to Casey Gibbs, who showed off his arm behind the dish in the top of the first, and now he leads it off in the bottom half of the inning. 3-2 pitch coming, and that one's lined out to left field. There's Carr. He stumbles a bit, and then he makes the catch for out number 1. Maybe he got cleat caught in the turf back there, but Casey Gibbs hit the ball hard, but he is retired, and here is DM Jefferson. So an interesting defensive lineup, whatever you want to call it. Not really even a shift here from Gonzaga. They've basically got 5 infielders here. They got the rover in the middle, men's softball style, as trying to see who has come in. They got 2 outfielders and basically a guy playing extremely shallow center. So DM Jefferson behind 0-1. Now he rips it to where that third outfielder would have been, but they've got it covered. Carr is there for the catch, and it worked. Head coach Chad Carroll putting on some interesting defensive alignments, and there's 2 down.
I got to tell you, in the first inning of a baseball game, that's one of the oddest things I've ever seen. I don't know if that's something I've ever faced.
I thought maybe it'd be, they're just throwing it out there for DM Jefferson, but this seems to be the defensive alignment for Gonzaga right now. They're shifting a little bit for each batter where, this kind of rover player is standing, but all in all, he's still out there as Jason Schiavone steps to the plate.
So one of the teams I played with in the past when I was playing second base, he came from the side a little bit, and no matter whether it was a left-handed hitter or a right-handed hitter, I always played right behind the second base bag, because for some reason, if the ball was hit on the ground, that's where it went. So maybe they just know something about Potham on the mound and where the ball on the ground generally goes, and they're playing defense against that.
So now at 0-2, they're going to go back to a regular alignment. So I believe that is Gupton, the center fielder, because he just sprinted backwards, and the 2 other outfielders kind of shaded over back to their normal position. So that is the first 2 strike count we've seen, so maybe that changes things. As he's 0-2 on Schiavone. Popped it up, and wouldn't you know it, that's where they would have been playing, but center fielder still able to get there, and well, weird defense and all. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Noah Potham in the first. He holds his team 2-0 lead as we head to the second. Back here at St. John's College High School for the second inning of action between the Gonzaga Eagles and the St. John's Cadets. A 2-0 lead for Gonzaga. Greg Kopp hit a 2-run homer in the first, and then St. John's was set down 1-2-3 in the bottom half of the inning as Mishra back to the mound, and the first pitch to Lucas Leclaire is fouled off. Of course, his brother Marcus hits 2 spots above him in the lineup. Lucas is the right fielder for the Eagles as he bats in the 7 hole and hits from the right side. Bottom third of the order, 7, 8, 9, Leclaire, Gronkowski, and Van Sice due up in the second as there's a strike, and the count's 0-2. We apologize. A little bit of issues with the behind home plate camera at the moment. But we will get you what's happening at home plate. The 0-2 pitch is grounded to third. Down the line, nice backhand is made by Allen. Long throw to first. It pulls Simpson off the bag momentarily, but he makes the tag for out number 1.
I think this is going to be the more important half inning here for the Cadets. I don't think that first half inning of offense is really that big of a deal for them. I think they can get the offense going at any point during this game, but for Mishra to get back out there and get 3 outs after that shaky first inning, it'll be really important to see how long he can go and possibly keep the pitch count down as the next couple innings trail on.
0-1 pitch here is swung on and missed. It is 0-2. Riley Gronkowski is the batter. He is the DH today for Gonzaga, hitting in the 8-hole from the right side. And here comes the 0-2. And he fouls it off, leaning out to touch that fastball to stay alive. So we'll see if getting that quick first out helps Mishra here after he did walk the leadoff man in the first inning. And he got him. Blew it by him for strikeout number 2. And there's 2 away in the inning.
Now it's interesting because where he located that fastball there was around the same spot he was starting to locate that off speed in an 0-2 count. But that fastball spin really makes you go after pitches, especially on the outer half with 2 strikes.
Here's Ethan Van Sice, the second baseman, batting 9th from the right side. As Mishra looking for a 1-2-3 second. That ball's hit out to right center. Pretty long run for Hatcher, but he's going to get it just about a step in front of the warning track. 1-2-3 second. Nice bounce back inning for Ethan Mishra. We'll head to the bottom of the second. See if Gonzaga has 3 outfielders this time when we come back. To the bottom of the second inning we go. A 2-0 lead for Gonzaga over SJC in this one as that ball is ripped out towards right center field, and they've got the outfielders there again. Leclaire is in the gap to make the catch. Gonzaga sticking with the 2 outfielders, and despite the ball being hit pretty hard, it continues to work as Max Simpson right there was retired on 1 pitch, and here comes Quinn Allen.
That's about the ball we were talking about at the break. I mean, that is, 3-4 feet left. You almost expect that that's going to be an automatic triple.
First pitch strike to Allen, batting from the left side for St. John's. And, of course, we got a game going on here with a lot of interesting characters as Allen hits one to left center, and there is Carr. He's got it for out number 2, but I feel like, Evan, we could spend 9 innings just dissecting the thinking behind this infield / outfield.
Yeah.
Because it's working.
Well, and that's the big question for us right there is how long will it continue to work?
Because obviously, if you're going to get away from this or get away with this for 9 innings, as a bunt is shown from Braden Martin, the DH, and he pulls it back for ball 1. If you're going to get away with this, you can't have 27 balls in play. You have to get some strikeouts. You have to get just some ground outs as well. And he's had 5 fly ball outs.
Well, and the other thing we haven't seen is a man on base.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how the defense shifts when they get runners on base, depending on where the runners sit.
But just the numbers are going to tell you, if there's 27 fly balls, they're going to fall in sometimes. So he's obviously looking for some more grounders as there's strike one and some more strikeouts as well. And that's the other thing with this alignment. If you're playing, it's not exactly a 5-man infield, but it's, almost that. You're expecting more ground balls than fly balls, and so far it's been 5 fly ball outs. But St. John's has hit the ball where the 2 outfielders are playing. 2-1. Inside, and it's 3-1. Now, the other question is Gupton just listed as the center fielder and then is out there? Because on a normal team, you'd probably want your actual center fielder as one of those 2 outfielders out there to cover the most ground, but he may just be listed in center because he's the one they send out into what I guess I'm still calling the rover position.
I was going to say I'm going to call it no man's land.
And that one's popped up. And that is the third baseman, Moore, who goes back there to grab it. And 3 more fly ball outs, another quick inning for Noah Potham. We go to the third. It's 2-0 Gonzaga. So Ethan Mishra is back to the hill in the top of the third inning. A 2-0 lead for Gonzaga over St. John's here in this one. Off the campus of St. John's College High School. Connor Newcomb, Evan Flax back here with you as a first pitch strike as Mishra has settled down from a little bit of a tough first inning. He walked 3 batters in the first inning, gave up a 2-run home run to Greg Kopp. That is the difference in the game. But since then, he's thrown more strikes, gets a ground ball to second. There is Martin, and he throws him out and 1 away. And now Evan, he's starting to throw more strikes. He's retired 5 in a row, and, he's seemingly just finding the strike zone and looking a little more comfortable out there.
Yeah, he's getting into counts where he's getting swings. I think that's what's really important. It's really hard when you get into 0-2 counts early on pitches on the corner. Then you start working around the zone, and guys don't want to swing because they start to get a little bit more selective as the count goes on and they start to get ahead. And so he's kind of getting pitches more in the zone that are swingable, and he's seeing balls in play, and he's got good enough stuff that when guys get balls in play, it's not hit too hard. It's not hit in places where guys are going to get on base.
Here's Will Carr, walked and stole a base and then scored a run on the 2-run homer his first time up. Again, Mishra walked the first 2 batters he faced in this game. The 2-0 pitch is fouled away. Carr, an uncommitted senior, hits from the left side, the left fielder for this team who's seen a lot of action so far out there in left field defensively. Of course, has gotten himself on base at the plate as well. He rips that one out towards left center field, and that thing is going to bounce in. Nice play there by Vallis to cut it off. Throw to second, beat the runner, but it was bobbled there at second base by Martin, and they're not going to get the out.
An opportunity to make up for a mistake there by Mishra, but the big key there is that he got behind in the count. He put himself in a position where he had to put something over the plate, and it's a whole lot easier to hit that fastball and be ready for it when you're in a count that you expect it to be coming. It's always good to expect it 0-0. It gets a little tougher when it's 1-0, 0-1. When you get into a 2-0 count, 2-1 count, you are ready for that ball right in that Pop-Tart box of a zone that you're looking for. And he turned on that one and hit a great shot to left center.
It was pretty good play by Don Vallis out there to knock it down, one hop, and made a strong throw into second. Just kind of short hopped it a little bit, made it tough for Martin to scoop it out and apply the tag. But the ball did beat the runner. Martin just bobbled it, and Carr slid in safely. But again, no error on the play or anything, just a solid throw and one that was tough to pick out and apply the tag in one motion. Here's Nicholas Moribito, struck out his first time as he pops one foul, and the count evens at 1-1. Another guy who is going to play his Division I college baseball in the Commonwealth. He is headed to play for John Sheff at Virginia Tech. Moribito is. Throw back to second, and got him at second base. They've tried it time and time again, mostly at first, but Mishra turns around and picks off Carr at second. That is a huge out. So he walks back to the dugout and takes himself right out of scoring position. So the pickoff, he went 1-6 there for the second out of the inning. And now there's 2 down, nobody on as that pitch misses low and away for a ball.
You know, they call the double play the pitcher's best friend, but I think pickoffs at second base have got to be a close second.
Yeah, I mean, that was another really good move from the right-hander. That one's in the dirt, and he gets to another 3-ball count here to Moribito, who again struck out looking on a 3-2 breaking ball in his first at-bat.
This might be another good time to drop one of those in there.
We'll see if he trusts it on 3-1. Did trust it on 3-2. Here's the pitch, and he went with the fastball, and he lost in ball 4. That is walk number 4 on the day for Mishra. The pickoff right there looming even larger, as it's just a runner on first with 2 down, and it would have been 2 on to face the home run hitter. Now it's just 1 on with 2 down for Greg Kopp, who launched a 2-run shot over the wall in right center field his first time up. That's the only scoring on the day so far. A 2-0 Gonzaga lead. Moribito at first with 2 down, and the pitch is a breaker that is fouled off, and that's what you got to do. He was all over the fastball first at bat. You drop it, a good breaking ball for strike 1.
Part of you doesn't want to believe he's going to be able to do it again, and you want to just try and get an early free swing, maybe a pop-up, something from a guy looking to try and hit a second one. But you really have to pay respect and get ahead, get in there, maybe throw him off a little bit, get him out on his front foot like he did there.
So now he's ahead of the home run hitter. Throws over to first. That one's pretty close, and called him safe. And that one definitely looked close, I'll say that. We don't have the greatest of angles being up here up the third base line, but that was another good pickoff move, and there's 2 sides of it. You know, Gonzaga's looking to run. They're looking to force the issue, and, you know, they have a stolen base. They've also been caught stealing once. They've also been picked off once, and it almost happened again. And in a game like this, you don't want to lose a lot of base runners, as that time not nearly as close. Moribito back in safely.
This feels like one of those moments where they're not trying to – obviously you always say you're trying to run on the pitcher, but sometimes, you know, you take advantage of a catcher who's giving you the opportunity. But this, I really feel like they're trying to take advantage and run on Mishra whenever they get the chance, because he's been doing that a lot. He's been putting the ball in the dirt.
And it looks like Kopp did go around on that breaker in the dirt. Count goes to 0-2. Nice pitch there. So he's going back-to-back breaking balls against the guy who hit a fastball out for a home run his first time.
Looks like he's almost trying to pick over to throw off the rhythm of the hitter at the plate and really break things up, not let the at-bat flow very well and take him out of some rhythm.
0-2, runner goes, pitches in the dirt, and again, Gonzaga runs on a breaking ball in the dirt, and Moribito's got the stolen base second of the day for the Eagles.
Yeah, and a great time to run there. 0-2 count, back-to-back breaking balls. The only thing you worry about there, maybe you wait till a 1-2 count, is you're afraid of a high fastball, but with a guy like Kopp up after what he did in his first at-bat, it seems like they're going to try and stay away from that pitch, at least in the top of the zone.
Swing and a miss. Got him to chase a breaker. Gibbs is going to scoop it out, throw to first in time, and that will end the inning. So a double and a walk in the frame, but Mishra gets out of it with a big strikeout. To the bottom of the third we go, still Eagles on top, 2-0. To the bottom of the third inning we go. It's a 2-0 Gonzaga lead here from St. John's College High School as this St. John's offense looking to get things going here. Connor Newcomb, Evan Flax with you here for this one. Thank you so much for joining us here in a cloudy, overcast Tuesday afternoon from our nation's capital. First pitch breaking ball is popped up foul as that came to A.J. Martin, the Cadets' second baseman, who hits for the first time today against Noah Potham, the sidewinding right-hander who has been very deceiving so far in this five-man Gonzaga infield, which has worked to perfection through 2 innings. 0-1, went with the fastball and tied Martin up in knots as the count's 0-2.
A.J. Martin's had an absolutely outstanding first 3 conference games of the year. Multiple hits in all 3 games against Ireton, Paul VI, and St. Mary's Riken.
He's been big so far and still hitting in that 7 hole. Here comes the 1-2. Got him looking. Dotted one at the knees around the outside corner for strike 3. And we talked about it, Evan, last inning. You know, he's going to have to get some strikeouts. You can't have the ball in play every single time when you got a 5-man infield. And there's the first K of the day for Potham. First pitch here is just below the knees to Dom Vallis, the left fielder, number 8 man in the order.
Yeah, the Cadets are going to have to get after that fastball early, put some strong swings on it, and hopefully just pay no mind to this defensive setup.
Yeah, conversation that, we were having up here in the press box, does just the alignment alone before the ball is even in play, does that, creep into the mind of these hitters, trying to do too much with center field basically wide open?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how when the lineup turns over and Casey Gibbs comes up for his second at-bat, how he maybe changes his approach or, focuses in on certain pitches during the at-bat. I'm sure they're all having conversations about it in the dugout about how to approach Potham in the way that he's coming after them.
Well, he's coming after him in a little bit of a different way here in the third inning. Back-to-back strikeouts as he sets Vallis down there. And there's 2 down for Corey Hatcher, the number 9 man who hit for the first time today.
Pretty similar formula on those last 2 hitters too. A couple fastballs early in the count, get ahead, maybe a foul ball off to the right side, and then that low breaking ball to the righties.
And the junior Hatcher takes a strike as the count is 0-1. The pitch. Breaking ball low, and it's 1-1.
Wouldn't be surprised to see a fastball on the inner half here. Let that arm side run do its job.
Popped up. Is there anybody there? Yes, there is. It's your second baseman, Van Sice, who makes the catch. 9 up, 9 down for Noah Pothom as his team leads it 2-0 through 3 innings. We play on to the top of the 4th inning. It is a 2-0 lead for the Gonzaga Eagles, trying to come on the road and pull the upset here over St. John's, although for the Cadets, this is definitely the toughest test they've had in the conference so far this year. They come in at 3-0-1 after opening the season tying against Archbishop Spalding out of the MIAA in Baltimore. 3 straight wins that came in pretty simple fashion. And now they trail 2-0 as Ethan Mishra starts the inning with a called strike to Marcus Leclaire. He fouls that one off, and it's 0-2. Continue to mention that these two teams just chocked full of guys who will play Division I college baseball in the state of Virginia. Leclaire, another UVA commit in this Gonzaga lineup, as he swings through the 0-2. And that is strike 3 and out number 1. 4th strikeout for Ethan Mishra.
And Mishra right there. Got ahead early, got his pitches in the zone, and let his fastball do the work for him.
Bryson Moore lined out to left field his first time. Takes a pitch, be a touch low for ball 1. Leclaire, Moore, and Leclaire due up in this inning 5, 6, 7. As a little half swing there as the count evens at 1-1. Moore hit that ball hard in the first inning out to left, but Malice was right there to make the catch to end the inning. Now he chases one up high, and it's 1-2, and Mishra getting into a little bit of a groove again here in inning number 4.
I will say, for all the balls he's thrown, the walks he's had, he's still working at a very good pace, which is really important to keep your defense engaged even when that stuff's happening.
And he gets another strikeout. 3 Ks in a row for Mishra, and there is 2 down.
Looked like he turned to the breaking ball on that one, put it right in the zone, and was forcing a swing there on the 1-2 pitch.
Tied him up in knots, and here is Lucas Leclaire, brother of Marcus, and he takes strike 1. Lucas with an 0 for 1, bounced out to third his first time. It's back in the second inning. A nice backhanded play was made by Quinn Allen down there. That's a strike, and it's quickly 0-2. Mishra going right at these hitters in the 4th inning. Tired of the 4 walks that he had surrendered through the first 3. 0-2. low for a ball.
And a good place to miss there. Looked like he might have let the changeup get away from him there a little bit.
Here comes the 1-2 delivery. Got him way out in front of the breaking ball. Mishra strikes out the side in the fourth. He struck out 4 batters in a row. To the bottom of the fourth we go. Can the St. John's offense get it going when we come back?
Go!
Bottom of the fourth inning, Connor Newcomb, Evan Flax back here with you from St. John's. It is a 2-0 lead for the away team. The Gonzaga Eagles have come in, hit a 2-run homer in the first inning off the bat of their catcher Greg Kopp, and that is the difference so far. Noah Potham through 3 innings, 9 up, 9 down for the Gonzaga starter, and his first pitch to fourth is a breaking ball. This is low for ball 1 to Casey Gibbs. We are back to the top of the order, the left-handed hitting catcher who lined out to left his first time. They are going back to a normal outfield as Gibbs takes high, and it's 2-0. Now, we weren't really, I think, aware of what was going on when Gibbs came up the first time, but they may have played it like this against him in the first inning. 2-0. That's popped up. Left field side, it's out of play. And a 2-1 count. So Gupton, the listed center fielder, actually is back in center field right now. So a normal 3-man outfield for the Eagles. 2-1. That one's lined to left. Well, they've got some numbers on him as well, it seems. He's floated out to Carr in left field twice, and there's one away.
Yeah, it looks like Casey Gibbs is just trying to get around that ball a little bit too much. And it's tough when a guy who throws from the side like that with the movement that his ball is going to have on it to hit it anywhere towards the middle of the field, at least in the air.
So here's DM Jefferson. He was a fly out to left his first time. And they are back to a 3-man outfield. So this is interesting. First time through the order, they go with the 5-man infield. And they've backed out of it so far here in the fourth inning. It's breaking ball and it's 2-0. And it's going to add to the theory that it's simply more about head games throwing off a hitter than about the numbers, really.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they maintain that as they go through the rest of the lineup for a second time.
And it's interesting from Potham, kind of a easy, it's not a herky-jerky sidearm delivery. It's kind of a smooth, not nonchalant, but it doesn't look like he's coming all the way down from third base and swinging it at you. As there's a pitch that just misses, it's 3-1. So he seems like a sidearmer who is okay in the starting role and trying to get deeper into a ball game, and had a pretty easy time of it so far, and I believe this is his first 3-ball count. That one's ripped to right field, way back at the wall. That one is gone. DM Jefferson, the first base runner of the day for St. John's, is a solo home run. Laser shot over the wall and right, and it's a 2-1 ball game. The Cadets are on the board.
When he hit that one, I wasn't sure it was going to get high enough that it wasn't going to get caught by Leclaire out there in right field, and that thing just kept staying in the air and crept its way over the wall.
Well, that's one way to hit around an interesting defensive placement and defensive alignment. Just hit it over the wall. That's what Jefferson did as he picks up the long ball. And it is a 2-1 game now as the senior DM Jefferson with his first home run of the year. And here is Jason Schiavone, who takes outside for a ball. And one thing that has been different so far in this fourth inning is Potham is not getting ahead of these hitters. It's been ball one to all three guys, and now that one's ripped to right. That one's got a chance. The Cadets have gone back to back. Schiavone leaves the yard, and we're all tied up at 2.
I'll tell you what he just did there, I think against a pitcher like this is one of the harder things to do, to even drive a ball as well as he did out to right field. And it's a short porch out there that way, and he got just enough on it to get it over the fence, and the right fielder knew that right off the bat.
Gonzaga and head coach Chad Carroll may want to think about going back to that 5-man infield, especially if it was just about the head games, because St. John's has seen a regular outfield. They have locked back in at the plate, as now we got a hit batter as Max Simpson is hit right around the shoulder on the first pitch. Things are unraveling a bit here for Noah Potham.
Yeah, the Cadets with one out here in the inning have seemed to find some life. Their first actual base runner of the game finally, and we were hoping it would come while they were playing in that defensive shift so we could see how it changed things up, but doesn't seem like we're going to have that opportunity. It'll be interesting to see if they ever go back to that as the game rolls on.
Yeah, definitely wanted to see it with a runner on, how they even, who covered the bag on a double play. Does he just kind of chill in the outfield still and not really, become a part of infield defense unless a grounder is hit to him?
As a middle infielder, I almost feel like it would make it harder, because that ball up the middle that you're going to maybe chase after, if you're the shortstop to your left and step on the bag, you're less comfortable.
Well, speaking of double plays, this could be one. That's a 4-6-3 DP, and Quinn Allen hit the ball hard like most of the Cadets did in this inning, but that is a big double play to get Potham out of the inning. But not before finally the Cadets break through back-to-back home runs from DM Jefferson and Jason Schiavone. The first 2 hits of the day tie this game at 2 as we head to the 5th. To the 5th inning we go. Brand new ball game here. 2-2 score. Connor Newcomb, Evan Flax with you here for this one between Gonzaga and St. John's, as that one's popped up off the bat of Riley Gronkowski, and it's going to land out of play for strike 1. As St. John's tying the game in the bottom of the 4th, back-to-back home runs from DM Jefferson and then Jason Schiavone to make it 2-2. Both of them went out to right field. And back to work goes Ethan Mishra. The 0-1 is a strike. And it's 0-2. Gronkowski can't believe it. He struck out his first time.
You know how before I said that I thought the top of the 2nd was going to be Mishra's most important half inning of the game? I stand corrected. I think this half inning is going to be his most important half inning of the game.
Well, it starts with a strikeout. He's now struck out 5 consecutive batters, and he's got 7 Ks on the day. as Gronkowski has gone down on strikes twice now in this one. And here comes Van Cise, the all-important shutdown inning here for Mishra after his team gets 2 in the bottom of the 4th to tie the game, and it really could have had more. It was a big double play that Gonzaga turned on a hard-hit ball from Allen that got them out of that inning. That one swung on and missed. Van Cise, who has an 0 for 1 with a fly out to right in this one.
It was a nice backhand play by Van Cise, and to put that feed to the shortstop right in a perfect spot to get a quick transfer and get Allen by just a step at first. I mean, it was an integral play there for Gonzaga to shut down that inning because it looked like things were unraveling quickly.
2-1 to the number 9 batter. He swings and misses, and the count is 2-2. Van Cise, the sophomore second baseman for this Eagles squad. Leadoff man Jake Gupton is waiting on deck. 2-2 from Mishra. That one is hit pretty hard out to left, racing back, and it's over the head of Vallis. He kind of got turned around. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. Van Cise around second, and then he hits the break smartly, and it is a 1-out double. The number 9 hitter snaps that streak of 5 straight batters that Mishra had struck out, and Gonzaga in business once again.
And unfortunately, on a 1-2 pitch, not the kind of count where you really want to put a pitch too far into the zone for a big swinger like Van Cise and give him an opportunity to hit a ball like that.
That was really a tough play for Dom Vallis because it was one of those balls that was almost hit right at him, but it did look like he got turned around, didn't take the best route to the baseball. But either way, it's going to end the day for Ethan Mishra. Pitching change coming for the Cadets. We'll get you the new arm when we come back.
Guys. That top head going.
Back here in the top of the 5th inning, new pitcher for St. John's is Michael Hipton. The 5'10 senior right-hander comes in with a runner at second and 1 away, and his first pitch fouled back by Jake Gupton. And Hipton will come in and try to get out of this jam here in the 5th after he did throw in the game on Saturday in the victory.
Yeah, good outing against Paul VI. Came in relief right after Quinn Allen had thrown the first 4 innings of the game, and did a great job to get out there, get ahead of hitters, and get early swings to get through a quick inning.
0-1. Breaking ball hit to third. Allen looks the runner back to second and throws him out at first for the second out of the inning. Nice defensive play there by Quinn Allen.
Yeah, Hipton comes from the side a little bit, gets those ground balls to the left side. Really important with a man on second base there.
And so there's 2 down now for Will Carr, who has a walk, a double, and a run scored in this one. Hipton again, 5'10 senior righty out of Silver Spring, Maryland. He's a Wilson College commit. Will head up to Pennsylvania and play at the D3 level next year. And with 2 outs, he steps off the back of the mound against Carr. There are a good amount of D1 players on this field, but there will be no Division III baseball slander on this broadcast, as that one is grounded foul. Two people in the booth with varying experiences of Division III baseball.
Division III baseball is at the highest level is extremely competitive baseball. For those listening to the broadcast that aren't aware, it's a great place to play at a very highly competitive level.
As there's a strike, it's 0-2.
I think for some it's a place where you end up when you don't really blossom as much as possible at a high school level, or like me, you have some guys playing in front of you at the high school level that are about to play at the highest levels of college baseball in Division I.
0-2. That one ripped out towards left center field. It's going to fall in. It's going to give Gonzaga the lead. Van Sice around third. He scores. Ball comes into second. It's an RBI double from Will Carr, who's been a thorn in the Cadets side so far today. And he gives his team the lead right back at 3-2 here in inning number 5.
Yeah, like I said before, Hipton does a good job of getting into the zone, but sometimes with good hitters, getting into the zone isn't enough, and he got a good pitch to hit there, drove it out to left center. And a little bit of a misplay in center field by DM Jefferson there allowed Carr to take second base and get right back in scoring position, trading places with Van Sice.
So the big hit, and St. John's does not get the shutdown inning we talked about. They get the RBI double from Will Carr. His second double of the day makes it 3-2. And here is Nicholas Moribito, who has a walk and a strikeout so far in this one. And Hipton in the same position with a runner on second and 2 down, but now his team trailing once again. The 0-1 pitch is swung on and missed. Good breaking ball. It's 0-2.
It'll be interesting to see which direction he goes with the 0-2 here with a man on second, 2 outs, and an open base over there at first. Whether he goes with a high fastball or something in the dirt.
0-2. Didn't chase in the dirt. It's 1-2. Obviously, the base is open, but you want to get Moribito because Kopp, the home run hitter, is waiting on deck. And obviously, even better, it's a righty-righty here versus what would be a righty-lefty up next, and he just got burned by the lefty Carr. 1-2. Ground ball towards short. That is vacuumed up by Schiavone. Throw to first and safe. Throw to the plate, not in time. And it's a 4-2 game. The throw to the home gets away. And moving up to second is Moribito. Think Schiavone at short thought he had a little more time than he really did. Moribito busting it down the first base line. And he gets in there with an infield single. And heads up base running from Will Carr, never stopped around third, comes in to score, and Gonzaga has gotten those 2 runs right back.
Good job by Hipton there to get the ground ball. Schiavone, like you said, just took a little bit too much time, but really good base running there to head around third and go for home and force the throw from the first baseman.
So now we will see Greg Kopp once again. Thinking potentially that's an RBI single for Moribito, and then the E3 on the throw home allows him to advance from first to second base. Would have been a perfect throw, would have still been a close play at home plate. But a 1-0 count here to Kopp, who has the 2-run homer and then a strikeout in this one. He swings and misses, and the count evens at 1. So the line is closed now on Ethan Mishra. His final line of the day, 4 1/3, 3 runs on 3 hits, 7 strikeouts, and 4 walks for the senior righty, who those 3 runs were the first 3 runs he has allowed this season in his 3rd appearance. And now Hipton is into the game. That 4th run so far is charged to him. One. Runner fakes a go, and Kopp swings and misses, and he's now behind in the count.
Good breaking ball there from Hipton down at the bottom of the zone. Tough pitch to throw righty-lefty when he comes from the side like that, but he buried it right under the hands of the hitter.
So now we'll see if Hipton can make that two-strike pitch. He hasn't quite made yet today. Since coming in this fifth inning, entered the game with a runner on second and one out in a 2-2 game. The RBI double and the RBI single. And he turns to second. Moribito dives back in. Nobody really around the bag to tag him out anyway.
It's an important move there by Hipton to let Moribito know that he's still keeping an eye on him, keep him maybe closer to second base. A hard hit, base hit gives an opportunity for a possible play at the plate.
Ball was hit down the line foul, and it remains at 1-2. So we saw some tossing early in the game in the Gonzaga bullpen, but that is not the case now. And although their right-hander, Noah Potham, was getting hit pretty hard in the fourth, it seems most likely he's going to be back out there in the fifth with his team giving him a lead once again.
And we'll see how that defense steps out there with him.
1-2. And Kopp just got a piece to stay alive.
I think Hipton will be hard-pressed to get a fastball by him here unless he puts it in the perfect spot with a 1-2 count and a base open. Be interesting to see if he goes after him here or tries to work outside the zone, maybe take advantage of a free swinging hitter, maybe put a breaking ball in the dirt, maybe try and bury one under the hands again.
Kopp, when he did strike out in the third against Mishra, did chase a couple of breakers in the dirt. 1-2. Popped it third base side and out of play. There's a good battle here between Greg Kopp and Hipton. A couple of guys, as we mentioned, who will be playing Division III baseball next year. Runner off second is Moribito with 2 down. Hustled out the infield single to keep this inning alive as shortstop Schiavone went back to cover the bag and Hipton stepped off. Hipton with the set, now the 1-2. That one's hit to center. Coming in, Jefferson dives and makes the catch to end the inning. DM Jefferson takes a run away from Gonzaga and finally ends the fifth, but not before the Eagles answer with 2 runs of their own and take the lead right back. 4-2 as we're halfway home here from SJC. To the bottom of the fifth inning we go. Gonzaga 4 and St. John's 2. Connor Newcomb, Evan Flax here with you from SJC as St. John's got 2 in the bottom of the 4th. Back-to-back homers from D.M. Jefferson and Jason Schiavone to tie it at 2. Gonzaga answers with 2 of their own in the top of the 5th to take a 4-2 lead. Noah Potham is still out there on the mound as there is a ground ball to second. It is scooped up and thrown away at second base. Van Sice had a pretty straightforward play there, and he just pulled that throw nowhere close to Leclaire at first, and that is a big-time E4 to start the inning.
Yeah, Braden Martin was getting down the line very quick there, and that's why you run out those hard 90s, because you never know when something like that's going to happen, and even how much that's going to force something like that to happen and give you an early base runner in a much-needed offensive inning.
Well, here is A.J. Martin now, as that pitch misses low, and Evan, we're seeing for the first time they are back in the 5-man infield, and now we get a chance to see what it looks like with a runner on as the center fielder Gupton is basically, he's about one step into the green turf. As that pitch is a strike as the count goes to 1-1. So he's literally playing directly behind the second base bag, basically in the back of the faux infield dirt here.
And Braden Martin is somewhat a base stealer here. So you would think that if he goes...
That's outside. It'd be interesting to see who's going to cover the bag.
I mean, I would think Gupton, right? Because you want to keep the larger chunks of second base and shortstop area covered. I mean, against Paul VI, twice we saw it. A guy took off for second, shortstop cut over, and a ground ball went right where he was.
And there's ball 3, and Potham's got to worry about not walking A.J. Martin here. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout so far in this one. (3-1) high for ball 4. And we've got relievers getting themselves ready to go in both bullpens right now as there are 2 on and nobody out here for St. John's. Looks like that is Luke Jackman kind of stretching in the Gonzaga pen. And a righty down there in the St. John's pen.
That's a quick stretch if I've ever seen one. Doing everything he can to get that arm loose and ready to move and ready to throw. Good opportunity here for the Cadets. We'll see how they play this one.
So first and second, nobody out after the error and the walk. Don Vallis is the hitter. Botham still in there. Corners come in expecting bunt. He does not bunt, and he takes a pitch outside for ball 1.
So this is where you have a really interesting scenario as a hitter, because normally when you have first and second, you want to put a hard bunt down the third base line, because that immediately brings in the third baseman, and it forces.
Well, here's a chopper, and it's going to get all the way through. It's going to be an RBI single as the runner from second, Martin, comes in to score. Now nobody's covering second, and as the throw comes to the plate, Vallis moves to second, Martin moves to third. It's an RBI single for Don Vallis. It's a 4-3 game.
So, what we're normally seeing here is that the third baseman wouldn't crash as hard as he just did there. But with 5 guys in the infield, you have Gupton who's going to step up and take second base. Now you have the shortstop, Moribito, who's going to take third base. And Bryson Moore is going to crash really hard so he can pick that bunt up. And the first baseman is going to do the same. Second baseman's going to take first base. And now you have all your bases covered no matter where that ball is bunted, back at the pitcher, first baseline, third baseline. They have an opportunity to get a quick out at third base. And if they hadn't been playing that way the whole game, I'd say it's a really interesting strategy for the bunt. But I think it's more of just a fortunate coincidence in the way that they have their defense set up today. But then when you do something like that and everyone's going all over the place, the slash is the perfect play. Because even a short chopping ground ball gets through the infield because there's so much space for it to go, and it throws the defense all out of flux.
Yeah, it was, we basically went from 5 infielders to 1 infielder once that ball was hit, and that's how that thing bounced through. And now the go-ahead run is at second. This one is chopped. It is over the head of the third baseman into left field for a base hit. Martin's going to come in to score as Vallis stops at third. Another Baltimore chop RBI single, this time from Corey Hatcher, and St. John's has tied this game at 4.
So now you're in another interesting defensive scenario with first and third. And now, because they are playing a normal defense, they're going to have to play this in a normal scenario. So we'll see how the Cadets choose to play this offensively and maybe get the defense in motion for a swing here at the top of their order and the meat of their lineup.
3 infield grounders and a walk, and there's no outs and 2 runs on the board as Gibbs squares the bunt, pulls it back, and takes ball 1 up high. Runners on the corners, nobody out, and now a 4-4 game. And this inning really all started to unravel to the first batter. I mean, Braden Martin hit a easy ground ball to second. Van Cise scooped it up easily and then just threw it nowhere near first base. And things have snowballed since then as Gibbs pulls back the bunt again and takes ball 2.
Well, I mean, you think about how that one play and then a walk following changed around the defense as a whole. If you look at the way both of those last 2 balls in play were hit, they would have been easy plays for the second baseman and third baseman in a normal situation.
Gibbs still squaring, still taking, and now it's 3-0. And as I mentioned, that right-hander, Luke Jackman, is getting hot quickly, and he looks almost ready to go in the Gonzaga bullpen.
I mean, you have to imagine if ball 4 is thrown here, that'll be the end of Potham's day.
He does throw a strike. It's bunted up the first base line. It's a good one. They're not going to get anybody out. And the runner from third, Vallis, comes in to score, and St. John's has a 5-4 lead.
An interesting choice, to say the least, there on a 3-0 pitch to lay down that bunt down the first baseline, but executed to absolute perfection there. Casey Gibbs, I wouldn't say he's been struggling swinging the bat, but he hasn't had the results he's been looking for. A lot of really hard hit balls right at defenders the last 2 or 3 games. And that's one way as a good hitter and a good base runner to get yourself on base is to lay down a strong base hit bunt.
So that's got to be maybe one of the most frustrating innings for a pitcher to not get an out with all those ground balls. But Potham is going to leave the game with 2 on and nobody out. St. John's has the lead. Looking to tack on more against the new pitcher when we come back.
Change here. 6 for 5. And then 25 for 11. I don't know. That's the only one he gave. That's neither 6 nor 5. No, second baseman came out and left fielder. Number 6 for number 5 in the 9 spot. Right, but that's but then they just swap pitchers, right? Yeah. What number is that? 25. Spiking now, okay? He's wrestling circle. One more. Okay, got one more. Let's go offense. Do what you do. Here we go. Come on. Keep sacking, fellas. Keep sacking. Let's go. Keep punching. Get a good pitch.
A lot of changes here for Gonzaga in the bottom of the 5th inning, but a lot of changes on the scoreboard as well. 3 runs already in for St. John's. They have taken a 5-4 lead, and now a new pitcher in there for the Eagles. It's the right-hander, number 25, Luke Jackman, who enters with runners on first and second and nobody out, facing D.M. Jefferson, who's 1 for 2, and he homered out to right field his last time, which was the first hit of the day for St. John's. Back in the 4th inning, a solo shot that made it 2-1 at the time. He's squaring around a bunt here. and he will bunt it foul as the count is 0-1. They're going to try to move these runners up to second and third.
Yeah, more traditional defense now, so you see the third baseman, Bryson Moore, hanging back a little bit here, waiting for that hard bunt down the third base line. And if DM Jefferson can get a good hard bunt down the third base line, there's no doubt he could beat it out.
So the set in the 0-1, Jefferson squaring really early, and he bunts it down the third base line. It's going to be a tough play. Throw on the run. It is in time. Just got him. Nice play made down there by the third baseman, Bryson Moore, but it will go down as a sacrifice for Jefferson as the runners move up to second and third with one away.
Close play there, showcasing the speed, but a great job there by Bryson Moore to get his hands on that ball quickly and get rid of it even quicker so that they could get that out. A much-needed out for them here in the middle of the inning.
So again, the new pitcher is Luke Jackman taking over for Noah Pothom. The defensive changes, Jake Gupton, who was the center fielder, he has come in and he is now playing second base for the Eagles. As Schiavone steps in and pops one up, first base side, it's in the infield, and there is Gupton in the game from center, makes the catch for a huge second out for the Eagles. Out in the outfield, because they vacated center, Will Carr moved from left field to center field, and then Logan Harris entered the game defensively in left. And so the second baseman, Ethan Van Cise, is now out of the game, and now we're going to see a pinch runner at second base for St. John's.
Looks like that'll be a courtesy runner for the catcher with 2 outs there because that's Casey Gibbs,
who was at second, and looks like Earl Screen is out there as a courtesy runner. So 2 down, second and third. Here's Max Simpson. A line out to right and a hit by pitch today. He was almost hit again there. Pitch misses inside for ball 1.
I like that at bat by Schiavone. I mean, it wasn't a great result, but I like the aggressiveness coming in. A guy he hasn't seen yet, but a guy he's expecting a fastball from, an opportunity with second and third to get a hard hit ball in play and get another run in. Again, just the execution wasn't exactly what he was looking for.
So Noah Pothom is done for the day. He pitched into this 5th inning, but did not record an out in the frame. And he is still on the hook for the 2 runners who are on base at the moment. Already 5 runs surrendered. 2-0 pitch. That one's hit hard. That's way back there in left center field. Long run, and Carr's not going to get there. It's over his head. Heading into second, there is Simpson. He's headed for third, and he will get there, sliding in a 2-run triple for Max Simpson. And there's the big hit to get a little bit of distance here as St. John's takes a 7-4 lead.
Again, that's the same thing we were somewhat talking about with Schiavone. Once Max Simpson got in a 2-0 count, he was expecting something fast, something in the zone that he could take advantage of, and boy, did he. I mean, that was not too distant from the swing he took in his first at-bat when he drove it to right field. Just got a lot of barrel on it.
And that one is ripped to short. What a play. Moribito goes down, throws to first, and he got him. Now the St. John's dugout erupting, saying that the first baseman, Leclaire, his foot came off the bag, but the umpires, at least to this point, disagree. What a play at shortstop that was from Nicholas Moribito just to make the snag and make the throw to first. Now the umps are going to come together again. This is a big call because if he is safe, the runner on third scores, and it's an 8-4 game. If not, it remains 7-4, and they've called him safe. The home plate umpire obviously has a much better view of that play on a high school diamond when there's only 2 umpires. Your base umpire kind of standing out behind the mound, so he can see, if the throw beats him, which it clearly did. But, he has no angle, neither do we up here, of if the first baseman Leclaire kept his foot on the bag. And apparently the home plate umpire saw what the St. John's dugout did. And so that should go down as an error, allowing that run to score.
A little bit of a reward there for Quinn Allen. I mean, that's the second straight at bat that he's hit a ball that's almost levitated off the ground as hard as he's hit it. And it was an incredible play by Moribito to get the ball out of his hands quick, but sometimes when you're getting rid of it as quickly as possible, it's just enough offline that it pulls the first baseman off the bag. So a good break there for the Cadets as they extend the lead.
So Braden Martin will come back up to the plate now. He led off this inning, reached on an error. got to ask you, Evan, would you give him a hit and the RBI on that ball? I mean, it was scorched, but that throw also beat him by a lot and just took him off the bag.
Yeah,
That's
I think
a tough play to score.
It's as good of a play as it was. I think it has to go down as an E6. You know, they do say hits at home as an offense and errors at home as a defense, but I think that one's just got to be a clear E6, unfortunately, for Moribito after a stellar snag and throw.
So it's now 8-4 as the run comes home. Simpson crossing the plate. Runner goes. Throw to second. He is out. Nice throw back there from the Gonzaga catcher, Greg Kopp. He gets Allen stealing. That will end the inning, but not before St. John's sends 10 to the plate. They score a whopping 6 in the inning and take an 8-4 lead as we head to the 6th.
The 28 for 15. Come on, Jay. Let's go.
Back here in the top of the 6th inning as a new pitcher back out there for St. John's. Hipton comes out of the game, and moving from shortstop to the mound is Jason Schiavone, who will take over on the hill. His team now leading 8-4 in the top of the 6th after a 6-run inning for St. John's. This one hit out to shallow right center and make a running catch. DM Jefferson for the first out of the inning.
Now, I know the people at home weren't able to hear it, but we could clearly hear that up in the booth. The conversation there by the right fielder and the center fielder there, Corey Hatcher, DM Jefferson. Corey Hatcher was sprinting in, yelled for it fairly early, and DM Jefferson called him off. And a great job there by Hatcher to let it go and let him come in and grab that ball. That is the center fielder's priority if he wants to catch it. But sometimes corner outfielders don't always yell for the ball with their ears open.
And the count now 0-2 here pretty quickly. So A.J. Martin has gone from second base to shortstop to replace Schiavone, and entering the game at second as that pitch is low. He did not go around. Counts 1-2. Entering the game at second is the junior infielder Vinny Hall out of Fulton, Maryland. Comes into the game for the first time here in the 6th. So Leclaire flies out to start the inning against Schiavone, and here is Bryson Moore. And that's strike 3, fastball in the outside corner. And Schiavone's got his first strikeout of the day. So even though obviously that overturned call gave St. John's the extra run, thought it was going to be 7-4, it's 8-4. And although that call seemed pretty big and obviously ticked off head coach Chad Carroll that they overturned it, that was not the play or the group of plays that really turned this game around in the 5th inning. That was kind of just extra icing on the cake. It really all started with the fact that, there was an error to start that inning, and then there were just, after a walk, 3 straight infield grounders that were not turned into outs. And that's how it unravels. Sometimes it's not even just errors, it's plays that you feel like should be made that aren't. And it can turn your fate around, and St. John's all of a sudden a 6-run inning to not only take the lead, but start to really kind of pull away in this game.
It's always interesting as a hitter, and myself as a hitter who used to bunt a lot and used to play with defenses a lot, how much your world as a hitter opens up when you start to find other ways to get hits. And for the Cadets there, they were fortunate that the defense was doing it for them, but they were moving in different positions and opening up the field in different ways where bounding ground balls were able to be very easy hits.
Martin at shortstop. Now he makes an error as Simpson couldn't pick it out at first base. So on the E6, the inning will continue as Lucas Leclaire reaches first. That is the second error of the day on the St. John's defense after Gonzaga made their first 2 errors back in the bottom of the 5th.
A.J. Martin transitioning over from second base to shortstop this inning, and a very, very, very solid defender, but sometimes that different arm action just shortens you up on that throw from shortstop over to first, and as soon as you move positions, that ball will find you and give you an opportunity to figure it out or not.
Yeah, it always does. Of course, Jason Schiavone is in the game, the senior 6'2" right-hander, comes from shortstop to pitch. The James Madison commit out there got the first 2 outs, then an error, and now he is 1-1 to Riley Gronkowski. Schiavone did pitch in the game against Ireton back on May 2nd through 4 scoreless innings with 6 strikeouts on the hill in that one. And he is back out there today, and so we will see. Again, that was, at this point 9 days ago. So see potentially if he maybe has the juice to just finish this one out for the Cadets. Runner on first with 2 down. Throw over to first. Again, the plan is to play 9 innings here. Of course, most high school baseball games, 7 innings are played, but with this still COVID-shortened season, obviously a pretty good idea to just decide to play 9 and get 2 more innings of baseball in every day, as that one misses for ball 2.
It's so interesting, and I started to notice this. It seems like college baseball and high school baseball have flipped. I don't know if you noticed that, at least at the Division III level. There have been a number of games that are normally 9 innings played at only 7 innings at the collegiate level this year, and vice versa with the high school level.
That one's ripped into the corner. This could be a run. Leclaire getting on his horse. Vallis out there fielding it in the corner. He's coming to the plate. Here's the relay throw. It is up the line and sliding in safely, Lucas Leclaire. That's an RBI double for Riley Gronkowski. And Gonzaga gets one back. It's now 8-5, and the error with 2 down comes back to bite the Cadets. So that's, a pretty big run. And once again, St. John's and this bullpen not able to put together the shutdown inning. Again, that's obviously going to be unearned to Schiavone, that run, because of the 2-out error. But still, he doesn't make his pitch. And Gonzaga gets one back, but that's why the 6-run inning helps you. Still lead at 8-5 with 2 down. And here's the number 9 hitter. And we're going to see Logan Harris hit for the first time today. Harris entered the game defensively in left field back in the 5th. Took Ethan Van Sice's spot in the order. So Van Sice out of there after a 1-for-2, a fly out to right, a double, and a run scored. And now we will see Harris hit from the right side for the first time today. 0-1. He takes low and the count evens.
Not off by much there. Schiavone doing a good job of being in the zone, but like you said, didn't make his pitch there the way I think he wanted to late in the count, and just left something a little bit too much over the plate with an opportunity to drive a run in.
The 1-1. Breaking ball misses. It's 2-1. You mentioning the more 7-inning games. I mean, heck, they're playing them at the major league level as well as they did last year. All doubleheaders last year and this year. When a game is rained out or is postponed for other reasons, it's a 7-inning doubleheader. There's a throwback to second, and I'm kind of a fan of it, at least for now, and I get why they did it last year for the health and safety protocols at the major league level. Get guys out of there earlier, but many people hoping that in 2022, when we're hoping it is not considered a COVID season anymore. On this track, you would think that will hopefully be the case, but that Major League Baseball would go back to the 9-inning doubleheaders as there's strike 2 and it's 2-2.
Yeah, I like the 7-inning doubleheaders. My biggest problem is that we've already seen, I think, 2 different guys throw 7-inning no-hitters, and Major League Baseball won't count it as a no-hitter, which I don't necessarily agree with.
Madison Bumgarner, 7 no-hit innings, and they didn't count it. They just called it a notable achievement, I think they're calling it. But they're giving him, here's the thing that doesn't make sense. They're giving him the complete game. And he gets to put, the complete game shows up on his baseball reference page, but the no-hitter does not, which is an interesting
you can't call it one thing and not the other.
Can't have it both ways.
Right.
Here's 3-2 pitch. Just outside for ball 4, and Harris, number 9 man, draws a 2-out walk, and after that error, this inning continues and hops over back to the top of the order. Here's Jake Gupton, who has an 0 for 2 with a walk and 2 ground outs at the top spot of the Eagles lineup today. So he now represents the tying run once again here in the 6th. And he takes a breaking ball for strike 1. Gupton, the sophomore out of Alexandria, Virginia, uncommitted right now at the top of the Gonzaga order. He's moved from center field now to second base defensively in this game. Throw to first, trying to back pick him, and he's in there safely.
It's the third time that we've seen St. John's get close to picking somebody off at first base. Maybe try and get a player who just recently came into the game sleeping with nobody standing on the base.
Still an 0-1 count. And the pitch in the dirt. It's 1-1. Of course, 7-inning doubleheader is not the only thing that Major League Baseball kind of took from lower levels. They have the runner on second rule in extra innings, which I feel like people across the board hate. And I kind of like, to be honest.
I love it because it's
every other sport changes their rules in overtime. It's okay that baseball does it too in the regular season. 1-1 is low, and again, it's not implemented for the playoffs. Just like hockey doesn't do the shootouts in the playoffs, and the NFL doesn't do ties in the playoffs. They continue to play,
right.
So they put it back to the the real game still in overtime when you get to the postseason. But I guess a 16-inning game can be fun for some people, but not for many. That one's ripped out to right, and a sliding catch is made. What a play out there in right field by Corey Hatcher. He just saved 1 and probably 2 runs and keeps it an 8-5 game as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Bottom of the 6th inning, 8-5 our score as St. John's is leading Gonzaga in this one. And that ball is hit out to left center field, and it's going to be caught by Harris, who was the new left fielder, entered the game last inning. And 1 pitch and 1 out in inning number 6 as Braden Martin is retired.
Braden Martin, a couple weeks ago, committed to Florida State University.
That'll get your attention when you commit to really any ACC or SEC school, obviously, but to go play for the Seminoles and a program in a little bit of transition right now because they've had Mike Martin as their head coach for the last 40-plus years.
Yeah.
And that's changing, which, you would think not too many things would change. But, the last couple of years for Mike Martin were not the same 40-win Florida State team. And this year they're, not exactly a top 25 team, but still have a lot of talent.
I mean, we were just talking about the Orioles. I think ever since DJ Stewart left, they really didn't. They didn't have that guy. But they're getting there. They're definitely working their way back that way. They're, I think week in, week out playing competitive ball games.
0-2 is up high. It's hard to build outfields that have Jameis Winston and DJ Stewart in them.
That's the truest statement I've ever heard.
1-2 here coming to A.J. Martin. He takes in the dirt, and it's 2-2. It's still Jackman out there, the right-hander for Gonzaga, who came in relief in the 5th inning. He stays out there for the 6th. The Noah Potham final line, kind of an interesting one. 7 of the 8 runs do go on his line. I believe only 5 of them are earned, but I got to check my math there again. Here's a swing and a miss and a strikeout there for Jackman, his first of the day.
Looked like A.J. Martin there with 2 strikes was trying to get a hold of a fastball up in the count. When that ball's up in the zone, it looks like a beach ball to the eye and makes it even harder to hit. It was a good swing, maybe just a little bit behind it, swung right through it, unfortunately.
So here comes Dom Vallis. Had an RBI single his last time. He bounces one in the hole. It's short. I mean, Moribito is going to have to make the greatest play of all time to get the out. He does not, although he made a pretty good one at the end of the 5th inning. And that's an infield single for Vallis, who has his second hit.
Moribito there, shortstop, has a ton of range. I mean, backwards, too, we saw him run out into left field and make a nice play on a pop-up. He's gotten a couple backhands, gotten to the ball towards the middle. Really, really strong player that the Eagles have there at the shortstop position.
And he's the number 3 hitter on the other side, so he's definitely got some talent, as that one is popped up by Corey Hatcher. But yeah, Florida State commit for Braden Martin is pretty cool. Again, he is just a sophomore, so he'll be there in a couple years when he heads down to Tallahassee. And I'm sure by the time he gets there, they're going to have that thing really up and running and humming once again.
Yeah, really, without a doubt. And the WCAC as a whole has seen their slew of ACC, SEC commits across the entire board. Paul VI is freshman shortstop that came through, that played against St. John's this past Saturday, is a commit to UVA.
A couple Virginia commits on this Gonzaga team. Of course, the Cavaliers try to do their best to hoard the talent from the D.C. area the best they can. 1-1. That's up high. It's 2-1. Throw back to first. Of course, Maryland trying to get more and more in on the D.C. talent. We know A.J. Lee here from St. John's went there a few years back, had a phenomenal career not only here but with the Terps, and got drafted by the Astros. And he starts the year in High A in the Houston organization, one of the 3 active cadets in minor league baseball at the moment. 2-1 pitch, and it's outside at 3-1. It's actually really interesting up at Maryland because you look at their football team and all they do is recruit every single good player from D.C. The same thing doesn't happen as much in baseball, and some of it is because a lot of their coaching staff is not from this area, and they kind of heavily recruit the New York area where their pitching coach, Corey Muscara, is from. But Matt Swope, their hitting coach, is the WCAC guy, so he's a DeMatha guy, and I know he wants to get as much talent from this area as he can.
I will say that before Maryland's baseball program really started to pick up, I would say, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, there was a good amount of time where even with an old staff that was from the area, they never recruited from around here. And Virginia Tech and UVA would come and take that talent. I mean, heck, VCU would take that talent, VMI, and Maryland was never going for it. They were traveling out to the West Coast. They were traveling south, trying to get all the talent from down there.
It's a fly ball to left. It's going to be a tough play for Harris, but he gets over the line, and he makes the catch. We'll continue that conversation when we come back in the 7th. To the 7th inning we go, an 8-5 St. John's lead. Gonzaga putting up a 0 in the bottom of the 6th. Schiavone back to the mound in the 7th. He gets a swing and a miss on a high fastball against Will Carr, the number 2 hitter. The only guy in the lineup for Gonzaga who has yet to be retired in this game. 2 doubles, a walk, an RBI, and a run scored today as he takes low. Actually, 2 runs scored, beg your pardon, as the count evens at 1-1. Carr, Moribito, and Kopp, 2, 3, 4. They've been the most dangerous hitters all season and all day for Gonzaga, as the count is now 1-2. Schiavone allowed an unearned run in the 6th as he came out of the bullpen to start the 6th inning. 2-out error, then an RBI double, a walk, and then a flyout to escape the jam. And he's ahead of Carr at 1-2. We were mentioning kind of Maryland, are they not recruiting players from this conference? Just in the sports in general, just so much talent in this conference everywhere. As that one's going to be a tough play up the middle. Hall with a nice snag, and he throws over to first to get Carr by a half a step for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, great job to get rid of the ball quickly there and get that throw onto first base to get the out. Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it during the break. I think for a long time Maryland never recruited from this area, even when they were from around here, and you kind of saw the result of that because there's so much talent in this conference, very clearly so. I mean, you had guys going to UNC, UVA, Radford, all these schools that are somewhat around the area and never ending up at Maryland.
This one popped up out to shallow right field. Hatcher is there, and he makes the catch. A couple of Virginia Tech commits are on the field today, and that's another wrinkle for it as well because, of course, John Sheff is the head coach of Virginia Tech, and he was the head coach of the Terrapins a couple of years ago before leaving to take over the Hokies program. But he is kind of continuing to obviously try and pick some players from this area as Virginia Tech has finally had its breakout season under John Sheff this year. They've been in the top 25 all year and they would be the main surprise story in the ACC had Notre Dame not just decided to go from a team that doesn't make the tournament to a top 10 team in college baseball this year. But it's got to be the Trey Mancini effect.
I think both of those schools were waiting for their breakout year, and it wasn't a surprise to see it out of Virginia Tech. If you know anything about what Coach Sheff did when he was at Maryland and what he was able to do there, you almost expect it anywhere he goes because it's more of a culture thing. And Notre Dame has always been able to get good players. It's Notre Dame. It's one of those schools where it speaks for itself, and DM Jefferson is headed there next year, and it's always getting good players but not always able to churn out good seasons, and they're finally finding their way and doing that as well.
Schiavone from 3-0 back to 3-2 on Greg Kopp, who hit the home run back in the first. And again, Jefferson's going to be a nice little addition to that team who's got it humming and looking to probably host a regional in South Bend this year as that one's fouled off as Kopp stays alive.
Maybe they'll wear those gold and green uniforms.
I'm a fan. I am a fan. I will say
the gold helmets.
Yeah, some people don't like what Under Armour puts out, but when it comes to Under Armour baseball uniforms, they do a fantastic job for their schools. 3-2 is high, ball 4, and Kopp works a 2-out walk to keep the 7th inning alive.
I think they're adventurous. You know, you don't see that. I mean, Vanderbilt's got some unique uniforms, but they're still very, you know, straight-laced, very straightforward. Tennessee's the same way. They're very traditional Nike uniforms. But everybody who's got Under Armour's got, you know, colorful pants and you know, different types of pinstripes. I mean, South Carolina is a great example. They had the all-black jerseys, uniforms, way before Vanderbilt had those from Nike.
That pitch grounded down the third baseline. It kicks off the glove of Quinn Allen. That's going to continue the inning. Runner headed for third, and he dives in safely. And now the back runner, Leclaire, is going to head to second. So some heads-up base running there from Greg Kopp. He saw that play develop, realized nobody was covering third, and he said, well, he had confidence in himself winning a foot race, and he did just that.
Yeah, it looked like Quinn Allen was just trying to come up and make a strong throw before he had the ball. Just always something that happens to third baseman on those balls down the line. You just have to trust that you can make that strong throw, and the safer option there would have been to field it and hold it.
You giving Quinn the E5 there?
Definitely.
I think so, yeah.
I think so.
Hard hit ball, but that did kick right off for the E5. So the walk in the air allow the inning to continue. Heads up base running, gets 2 in scoring position in an 8-5 game. And once again, Bryson Moore is up, and the tying run is at the plate. Moore having a tough day so far, though, 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. And Schiavone's going to step off the back of the mound. Big at-bat right here. Obviously, you know, thinking tying run, but if you're Moore, you would just love a base hit. That one is going to float out of play. Even if you don't tie the game in this inning, you get things back to 8-7. You flip this game on its head once again after, you know, things really felt like after that 6-run 5th inning for St. John's. You know, it was only 8-4 when that inning ended, and there was plenty of baseball to play. We were only through 5, but it just felt like they had pulled so far away after kind of how rough that inning looked as well for Gonzaga.
Yeah, and St. John's, you know, for all intents and purposes, has not been tested here in what we like to call it in college the Warrior innings. 7, 8, and 9 are not something high school baseball players are used to. Those innings will wear on you very, very quickly. Getting over this hump of 6 2/3 and through the 7th as a pitching staff is also really important. And so we'll see how St. John's battles as an offense, how they stay focused. And same thing with Gonzaga. But Gonzaga has everything going their way right now, momentum-wise. Offense is clicking. They're getting things to go their way. They just haven't had that one breakout hit other than Kopp's home run in the first to really propel them back into this game.
2-1 pitch now, and Moore is going to take it just low and outside. It's now 3-1. And the base is open, but you don't want to put the tied run on base here. Schiavone out of the windup, 3-1 pitch. Moore takes it on the outer half for a strike, and the count goes full. Again, Lucas Leclaire is waiting on deck here.
It's an interesting position as a defense because you don't want to give up a double here and let the batter get into scoring position if he hits one hard. But you also don't want to let this game get within 1.
Well, there's a pop-up that he wanted. Hatcher coming in. He makes the call out in right field, and he makes the catch. And Schiavone gets out of the jam after the walk in the air with 2 down, but no runs score for Gonzaga. Time to stretch here from St. John's College High School. It's the Cadets 8 and the Eagles 5. Bottom of the 7th inning. St. John's 8, Gonzaga 5 here from SJC. We have a good one here between two of the teams in the top half of the conference here in the WCAC. Connor Newcomb, Evan Flax with you here as that one misses outside. And the count evens at 1-1 as Schiavone was able to put up a 0 in the top of the 7th. Again, high school baseball, usually a 7-inning affair, but the Cadets playing 9 innings per game this year. Obviously still a shortened schedule with the season starting later because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And frankly, you just want to play more baseball. So a good way to do it is play an extra 2 innings every time you go out there. So they're playing the full 9 today as the count is 3-1 here to DM Jefferson. 2-3-4 due up in the St. John's order.
Yeah, a stressful 7th inning there for the Cadets.
That one is hit the other way. That's going to be a tough play and an over-the-shoulder attempt. Catch not made by the third baseman Moore. It does land foul, though, so the count goes to 3-2. There is a right-hander warming up in the Gonzaga bullpen. No action, though, in the St. John's pen. That is Riley Grahowski, who is throwing in the pen. He is the designated hitter in the lineup for Gonzaga in this one as Jefferson fouls off a high fastball to stay alive. So we'll see if he just goes right from DH to the mound at some point in this inning. Another guy with a little bit of a funky delivery as we watch him warm up in the Gonzaga pen. Counts 3-2 as Jackman is still the pitcher for Gonzaga, entered back in the 5th. And Jefferson stays alive. DM Jefferson 1 for 2. A fly out, a solo homer, and a sacrifice bunt so far in this one.
Interestingly, something we haven't even talked about nor has happened since the initial pitching change. The defense has been playing completely normal.
So it might have been a pitcher thing, as that one's fouled off again as Jefferson stays alive at 3-2.
But I will say, had they just had 3 outfielders during some of the different moments of defensive shift, they may have been in a better position during the 6-run inning.
Yeah, it helped in those first 4 innings, or at least the first 3. It did not help in that 6-run 5th. That one's low, and a leadoff walk to Jefferson as St. John's looking to extend their lead here in inning number 7. So Schiavone to the plate. He's now on the mound, and he is at the dish as well.
I'm not sure if the right fielder, Lucas Leclaire, could play any deeper.
Yeah, he's on the track basically out there in right field, kind of roaming up into the synthetic grass and back onto the different colored warning track. Schiavone did hit that home run out to right field back in the 4th inning that tied this game at 2. He went back-to-back with Jefferson in that 4th for the first 2 hits of the day at the time for St. John's against Noah Potham, who ended up giving up 7 runs over 4+ innings on 5 hits, 2 strikeouts, and a walk for the senior righty.
So a couple quick bits of course knowledge, if you will. That actually is a real warning track, even though it looks like the same coloration of the infield.
0-2 fouled off.
And down the line, even though there's no sign, I believe we've measured it out to 298 feet, but it quickly starts to angle out, and I'd say about where Leclaire is standing would, by my guess, would be around 315, 320, so still not too deep, but it gets out there towards center field.
We regret to inform the people that there will be geometry on today's lesson as well. And time was called right before the delivery. Count remains 0-2. Yeah, obviously the wall has to start jutting out to get what you have in dead center field, which is a very, very, very long ways away.
Yeah, I think it's closer to like 420 in dead center, 380, 385 in the left center gap.
Now, I know, this field has looked different over the years, but Evan, you've been around SJC baseball for a while. Have you seen anyone challenge that dead center field in a game?
Rumor has it that Mark Gibbs against good counsel back in his day playing here at SJC, hit one out around where that telephone pole sticks out, pretty close to center field.
That's a nice shot. I mean, the name you think of over the last decade and a half is, did LJ Hose get one? Because he was on a different level when he was here. Obviously, then he got drafted in the 3rd round out of high school. We got an argument here. That looked like a pretty good throw, and like the tag was there to retire Jefferson on a caught stealing, but umpire called him safe, and he gets the stolen base at second. And once again, Chad Carroll is not making friends with today's umpiring crew.
Unfortunately, I'm not sure what exactly he would like the umpire to do, and I understand expressing your frustrations and letting him know how you feel about the call, but, Coach Mark Gibbs on the play at first base never went to that field umpire. He immediately went to the home plate umpire and said, hey, you have a view of this. You were watching it. What did you see? Can you guys talk to each other? There really isn't the opportunity to do that same thing.
That one's hit to right field. That ball's got some carry. It's back at the wall, and that ball is gone. Twice in this game, Jason Schiavone hits one out to right field. This one a 2-run bomb, and it's 10-5. The Cadets have the lead. He's got it going out to right field today, and frankly, Evan, they hadn't played in the right spot. He just hit it over everybody's heads once again.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot you can do when the fence comes up on you that quick if you're Leclaire. But you mentioned LJ Hose earlier, and that's a lot of what I used to see him do. Instead of going out towards center field, the fence was a whole lot shorter at the time, but it's a whole lot easier to let that fastball travel a little bit, find the barrel, and get one out to right field.
So that's a little more separation, largest lead of the day for St. John's as they lead at 10-5 as Max Simpson steps in and takes a strike. He had a 2-run triple his last time, also a hit by pitch, a line out, and a run scored today for Simpson. As that one is ripped out to left center, and what a running catch made out there. That's a very nice play by Logan Harris for the first out of the inning. Remember, he was the defensive replacement back in the 5th out in left field. And there's a reason why. So one away is Quinn Allen is going to step in now. Allen, the senior. We talked about, all the commits on this team. We haven't even mentioned Quinn Allen is maybe going to the program that's having the most success right now out of any that these guys are committed to. He's headed to East Carolina. And the Pirates, some of it has to do with the conference they play in the American Athletic, but, I mean, they have been a, potential regional host team for the last 3 or 4 plus years and have just been rolling through the AAC and have put together a lot of draft picks on their way as count 1-1 here to Allen.
You want to talk about having some fun playing baseball. Watching that EUC baseball team play is a lot of fun. They got a lot of fun things going on in their bullpen. They're playing good baseball. It's a good time to be a Pirate. That's for sure.
Actually, 2 years ago, I called an ECU perfect game, which was the first no-hitter or perfect game I'd ever seen in person. The Pirates traveled to College Park for a 3-game weekend series against Maryland in non-conference play. And Jake Kuchmaner, a left-hander, kind of a crafty lefty, who since his velocity has kind of upped and now he's more of a prospect than he was back then, but kind of put him on the map. He came out there and he threw a perfect game at Bob Turtle Smith Stadium. It was very, very cool to watch. Of course, the team I was broadcasting the game for was on the losing end of a perfect game, but it's you get caught up in it. And it's pretty special. It doesn't really matter who's throwing it, but I mean, they've had some teams that was a strikeout there. Quinn Allen is confused, as am I.
I think Quinn might have thought that he fouled that one straight back.
Most people did, but ump said swing and a miss. There's out number 2, an odd one, but 2 down now in the inning. And for Jackman, he gets his second strikeout. But yeah, ECU's got it humming as there is a ball ripped into right center. That's going to get down for a base hit. So Braden Martin has himself his first hit of the day. He had an 0 for 3 coming into that at-bat. But even ECU, they lost kind of the core of their team over the last couple of years to the draft. last year, and it didn't faze them. They're still a top 15 team in the country this year. So we've got Evan reviewing the video over there.
Yeah, it was pretty clear that he fouled that ball off. It hit his bat and went straight down into the dirt.
So everyone was confused for the right reasons, it seems, but Quinn Allen's got a strikeout on the record that he didn't deserve, so we'll see if he gets one more AB maybe and tries to make up for that. Here's A.J. Martin after the Braden Martin single, but yeah, it'll be fun to see Quinn Allen added to a lot of fun players already down in Greenville. I mean, that team, they had a guy, Alec Burleson, over the last couple of years who just got drafted, who was a true two-way player and is still going to try to do it in the minor leagues. He was their ace pitcher and he was their best hitter on a really good team. 1-0 pitch is high, throw down to first, and Martin's just back in there diving safely. Burleson actually played summer baseball in this area. Played for the Bethesda Big Train a couple of years ago. As a count 2-0 here to A.J. Martin.
Another fun fact about ECU, their associate head coach, Jeff Palumbo, is a former St. John's cadet baseball player. So a little connection there.
There's your connection to
may have
help get Quinn down to Greenville.
Exactly.
That's a good baseball program, and here's the 3-0. That misses up high. Nope. Strike.
A little bit of a late call there.
3-1. That's kind of the team that, feels like they're in that Coastal Carolina sense of, if they would win a national championship, it would kind of come out of nowhere. But even though they're the same, kind of school generally, taking different paths, as that's ball 4 as the runner Martin was going. Coastal, was a 4 seed in their region and just went on to win the whole thing. ECU's been really good for a couple of years.
Yeah, I think once the tournament gets started, if they do, or if they are fortunate to host, which may not be because of a number 1 seed or anything like that, just the way college baseball is working this year, I think it'll be pretty apparent pretty quickly to a lot of fans why they're in that position.
And many people will know that even though Burleson is gone and a couple of the big hitters they had, Cooch Maynor is still there, I believe, in that rotation, the guy who threw the perfect game a couple of years ago, and they just continue to hum along. But here's Don Vallis again. He has singled his last 2 at-bats. He's 2 for 3. A couple of singles, an RBI, a strikeout, and a run scored today.
Yeah, in his last at-bat, he took advantage of that opportunity with the shifted defense to
chop one through.
Yeah, get the offense rolling for a 6-run inning.
Vallis, the Towson commit, another guy headed to Division I, senior out of Gaithersburg, Maryland. See him play for the Tigers next year. Count 0-2. And the pitch. And he swings through a fastball to end the inning. But St. John's adds 2 more. 2-run shot from Jason Schiavone. Hit one out to right field for his 2nd homer of the day. And it's 10-5 Cadets as we head to the 8th. To the 8th inning we go. The Cadets 6 outs away from another victory here in conference play as a new pitcher is on the mound for St. John's. It's a 5'10" senior left-hander, Vinny Walsh, out of Laytonsville, Maryland. He will take over in the 8th and could presumably finish this game out with a couple of innings. But we'll see if they go even deeper into the pen. He will face the bottom third of the order. Starts with Lucas Leclaire, who is already quickly behind 0-2 in this count. Leclaire 0 for 3, ground out a strikeout. He did reach on an error and score his last time in the 6th as he chops that one foul to stay alive. Vinny Walsh takes over for Jason Schiavone, who started the game at shortstop, then went to the mound. 2 innings, 1 unearned run on 1 hit, 1 strikeout, and 2 walks for the right-hander. And now Walsh is in there, the lefty, and the 0-2. And he got him looking. Breaking ball at the knees for a called strike 3, and there's quickly 1 away.
It looks like the Cadets are figuring out who their arms are. Same slate of guys that we've seen through the first 3 or 4 games here with Ethan Mishra and Jason Schiavone, and now these other 2 guys out of the pen, Michael Hipton and Vinny Walsh. Both guys that came out of the pen against Paul VI as well, throwing clean innings then and looking for another clean one here. Vinny Walsh, same as he did against Paul VI, does a great job of getting into the zone and sometimes getting someone going from the left side, throws off those hitters just enough. They'll watch a couple curveballs go by on an 0-2 count right over the heart of the plate.
It looks like Schiavone has gone back to shortstop defensively. It has moved A.J. Martin back over to second base defensively. And that means Vinny Hall is back out of the game as that one's hit up the middle, and that's a 1-out single for Riley Grahowski. So he's got his second straight hit. He had the RBI double back in the 6th that made it an 8-5 game at the time. And a 1-out single for the number 8 man. And now we get to see Logan Harris hit for the second time today. He walked his first time at the plate back in the 6th after entering the game defensively in the 5th. Also made a nice catch out there in left last inning. His first pitch low for a ball.
Good job there by Casey Gibbs. Keep that one in front of him. Keep the runner at first over there. One of the main reasons he's headed to VCU. He's an incredibly gifted defensive catcher with a really good arm from behind the plate, and he does a great job of keeping the ball in front of him. Even with a small backstop that he's got here, he's in a situation where he could get a little bit lazy like some other catchers, try and pick the ball out of the ground, and he does a good job putting his body in front of it with nobody on base, somebody on base, no matter what.
Another throw over to first. It's a nice little move there that Walsh has, but the runner Grahowski is back in there safely.
Yeah, not taking nearly as long of a lead as he was earlier in the game.
So we saw Mishra go 4 1/3, Hipton 2/3 of an inning, and Schiavone went 2 innings. Now we see Walsh. Evan, from what you know, do you think Vinny Walsh could be tasked with finishing this game out, or do you think there might be another arm in the 9th inning? No one warming at the moment for St. John's.
I think we see how this inning starts to build. I don't expect it to get away from him. And I would say as long as it kind of keeps moving the way that it is, I think we probably see him back again and to finish things off in the next inning.
Allen makes a nice play. His only play was at first on the chopper. Grahowski moves to second, and now there's 2 away as it goes back up to Jake Gupton at the top of the order.
Smart play by him there. It looked like he wasn't sure how he wanted to play it off the turf, but as soon as he got it in his hands, he got rid of it quick.
You're obviously going to get more, true hops off the turf infield than you would off a dirt infield, but you also have to, play things a little differently because you're going to get higher hops. And St. John's at the plate has definitely taken advantage of those higher hops today with some of those choppers in that big 6-run 5th inning. But, it's a setup you don't see a lot of other places when your baseball field kind of bleeds right into your football field. But, make it work here at SJC with the fence up in left field as that one misses in the dirt.
Yeah, it's always been a very unique setup, and you see some of the soccer lines out there on the field, the football lines out there on the field, and during other seasons, there's actually a goal post that sticks right out in center field, so the baseball field's almost unusable during baseball season.
That one's low, and it's 2-1. It's just funny, being here the last time I was here, I think a couple years ago for a DeMatha St. John's football game, and just how you see the baseball field when there's football going on, and then vice versa, how it actually looks when there's a baseball game going on. It just feels like this little thing tucked in the corner when there's a football game going on, but then you put the fence up here, and it's like, oh, this is a baseball field. 2-1 is hit off the end of the bat, and that's going to fall into left center field for a base hit. Stop sign was up. They could have scored that run, though, as Jefferson kind of bobbled it in left center, but the stop sign was up for Grahowski. He stopped at third, and kind of surprised, maybe with less than 2 outs, I see why you would put the stop sign on. You're not trying to run into an out, keep the big inning going, but with 2 down, you're down by 5. I might have tested the arm there, but Gonzaga and Coach Carroll does not. They've got runners on the corners.
Yeah, there's a lot of things at play there. You got to know what that run means, and right now it doesn't mean a whole lot if he just scores alone. It's hard in the moment to think about the fact that you have a lefty-lefty matchup coming up, even though you're trying to think, well, I got the top of my lineup, I got the meat of my lineup, should still be able to score him with nobody out. But, I think with 2 outs there, as soon as that ball makes contact, maybe he didn't feel like his base runner got off the bag as quickly as he maybe could have and wasn't coming around third base as quickly as possible.
Yeah, the other thing, in the 9th inning, you obviously hold him there as another throw goes to first. But in the 8th, the run does still mean a little something because, going into the 9th at 10-6 versus 10-5 is still a difference. Whereas if it's the 9th inning, you need 5 runs, and it doesn't really matter when they would come. But we'll see if it works out. If Carr comes through, it'll be a moot point here. First pitch to him, and he takes low for ball 1. You're trying to get as many as you can in the 8th, so your job becomes just a little bit easier in the 9th. Obviously, it's still an uphill climb, with just 4 outs to work with, trailing by 5 against a pretty good St. John's pitching staff. Vinny Walsh here on the mound, and he throws over to first once again.
It's a little interesting how much they've thrown over today. Every single one of St. John's pitchers has very consistently thrown over a lot to keep these base runners aware of their presence.
And that one is hit, and that will end the inning. So it doesn't work out for Gonzaga. They hold the runner, and they don't get a run. To the bottom of the 8th we go. St. John's will get one more chance to try and add this 10-5 lead.
Hitter, 18 for 29. You got it, Riley. Here we go, 17. Smitty!
Bottom of the 8th inning.
here from SJC. St. John's with a 10-5 lead over Gonzaga in this one. Pinch hitter to start the 8th inning in Corey Hatcher's spot. It is the senior Connor Smith out of Rockville, Maryland, who will hit from the left side as a pinch hitter. He takes low as the count goes to 1-1. Connor Newcomb, Evan Flax here with you for this one. Thank you so much for joining us. New pitcher is in for Gonzaga as well. He's got the count at 1-2. It is Riley Grahowski, who has been in the lineup all day as the designated hitter. He has gone 2 for 4 at the plate with a single, a double, and an RBI and a couple of strikeouts. Now the right-hander, side armor, takes over on the mound, and he just misses to Connor Smith as the count goes 2-2. So we'll see if Grahowski can do his job, put up a 0, and keep it 10-5 into the 9th, as he's now gone 3-2 to Smith. So we'll see if Hatcher re-enters in right field or if Smith stays in the game. 3-2. Chopped up the first baseline. The catcher will take it. Throw to first is just there in time. Nice play by Kopp to get the first out of the inning.
Looked like Connor Smith got out of the box a little bit slow there, unfortunately. I'm not sure he saw where it went off the bat. Just barely got a piece of it, and it jumped right out in front of the plate.
So here is Casey Gibbs, the senior out of Olney, Maryland, and the VCU commit, 1 for 4 with an RBI single back in the 5th inning of this one. He's had a couple of big games this year. Had a 3 for 5 against St. Mary's Riken, had a 2 for 5 to open the year against Spalding, and he takes called strike 1. As that one is grounded up the middle. Backhanded at second by Gupton. His throw to first is offline, but wouldn't have beat him there anyway. That is an infield single for Casey Gibbs and another multi-hit game for the St. John's catcher.
Yeah, Casey Gibbs, quick for a catcher and quick for anybody on the field. He gets down the line very fast there, and just no chance for Gupton on that backhanded play.
Here is DM Jefferson, a home run and a walk. Couple of runs scored on the day for him, and a 1 for 2 at the dish. Also a sac bunt and a fly out to left.
It was a good pitch by Grahowski. Got Casey Gibbs out on his front foot a little bit. Got the ball off the end of the bat, just well placed.
1-0. And the count is 2-0. Grahowski again comes from a lower arm slot, kind of similar to the starter Noah Potham, although it's a little bit of a different delivery. He's a little more herky-jerky than the starter was, as that's low, and it's 3-0. It's actually interesting to see. It feels like over the last maybe decade, maybe a little less in high school baseball itself, more and more players at this age are starting more so to throw from angles like this. Longer before that, it was a way for guys who kind of failed as overhand pitchers to, keep their careers going. But, as time goes on, more data is available, more guys in the major leagues do it with success. More guys at lower and lower levels continue to pitch this way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say this is a knock to Division III sports at all, but I liken it to the three-point shooter in Division III college basketball that stands at about 6'5" and is tall and lanky. It's not a guy who really works down in the paint at a higher Division I level, and he does a really good job of shooting, and that's kind of his role. And it's similar at the Division III level. I'm sure you see it a lot, where guys are coming from different arm slots out of the bullpen. I mean, if a guy comes out of the bullpen throwing from over the top, it's almost your best possible opportunity to get a hit.
Yeah.
When the guy throws from down low, you really don't have a chance. I mean, I remember when I was a freshman in college, we faced a kid throwing, mid-90s, left-handed from the side. I think I would have rather he'd been throwing mid-90s from over the top.
I'd have rather him been throwing 100 from the top than 95 from the side.
Yeah.
That ball hitting the air to center. Carr is going to settle under it, and he makes the catch for out number 2 here in the inning. So ground out, single, walk, and a fly out. And here comes Schiavone. 3-homer game on his mind as he does get one more chance.
or will he? As no, that was Schiavone there that flew out, my mistake. As here is Max Simpson. It's been a long day of baseball, people. Well, he put the ball in the air. He tried to get that third home run.
Definitely gave it a chance. He went to the longer part of the ballpark there. Went out towards center field instead of right field that time.
So it will be Simpson, who does have a 2 RBI triple in this game as he swings through that pitch.
Yeah, Simpson's had a couple really, really good at-bats. First at-bat, when nobody else was really squaring up Potham, drove one out to right center field, just happened to be right where Leclaire was playing, and then hit that one hard to left field when Logan Harris ran it down. So other than his triple, he has had some really, really strong contact across his at-bats today.
And that ball is fair down the third base line. What a swing that was from Max Simpson. He's going to get himself 1 RBI. This one will just be a double. That was Cooper May, who was the courtesy runner at second base, who comes in to score. And it's an 11-5 lead for St. John's.
Cooper May, for those who joined us for the game against Paul VI, you may remember, hit a home run in the 6th inning of that game. So getting opportunities in both games this week for the Cadets.
And now it's Quinn Allen once again, who still doesn't have a hit. He's 0 for 4, but he's hit the ball pretty hard today, and I feel like he's got to get rewarded here in what should be his final at-bat, as he's ahead 2-0.
Almost on the opposite side of Max Simpson, who's hit the ball, hard and has been rewarded multiple times. That one sneaking past the glove of the third baseman for a double. The other one just out over the glove of the center fielder.
Maybe this will be his hit. How about a little chopper? And they called him out. That might have been an 11-5 in the 8th inning call, but Quinn Allen's not going to be too happy. But we will head to the 9th. St. John's does add a run on the Max Simpson RBI double. They're 3 outs away from a victory, leading Gonzaga 11-5. St. John's Cadets 3 outs away from another victory here in WCAC play. Connor Newcomb and Evan Flack's been here with you for this one. 9 innings of high school baseball here from our nation's capital. It's an 11-5 lead for St. John's, looking to close out the victory here in this one. Vinny Walsh, who came on and worked a scoreless 8th inning, back out there in the 9th to finish it off. It's ball 1 to the number 3 hitter who leads off this inning, Nicholas Moribito. And now Moribito swings and misses, and it's 1-1. He has a 1 for 3 today, RBI single, a walk, fly out, and a strikeout.
Moribito's been impressive across the board. He's shown off some speed, takes good swings at the plate, good at-bats, some really strong defensive plays out there at shortstop. A good player for these Eagles.
Yeah, he's definitely a top piece on this team, both defensively and at the plate, as he chops that 2-1 pitch foul towards his own dugout. And it's 2-2. It is 3, 4, and 5 due up for Gonzaga, so a good part of their lineup to try and start a rally, as they need 6 of them here in the 9th inning to try and extend this game. 2-2 coming. And that's called strike 3. Breaking ball from Vinny Walsh. He's got his 2nd strikeout, and there's 1 away in the 9th.
Great pitch, kiddo.
So if Walsh does finish it out, it looks like St. John's would go to 4-0-1 on the season, be 4 wins in a row. Michael Hipton, the senior, would be the winning pitcher in this one because Ethan Mishra only went 4 1/3, and Hipton, although he allowed a run, got the final 2 out to the 5th, and then that is when St. John's scored 6 in the bottom of the 5th to take a lead that they have not yet surrendered. Put them up 8-4 at the time, now 11-5, as pitch misses, and it's 1-1 to Greg Kopp. And on the other side, of course, the loser would be Noah Pothom, the starting pitcher for Gonzaga, who gave up 7 runs over 4+ innings of work. 1-1 is a strike at the letters, and it's 1-2. No save situation in this one. Of course, if you pitch the final 3 innings in a win, you get the save no matter what, but it'll just be 2 innings for Walsh, and he did not enter when the game was 3 runs or less as the deficit, as Kopp fouls it off to stay alive. Looks like this game will end somewhere in between 2.5 and 3 hours of baseball. Rob Manfred, take notes.
Yeah, we did play 9.
Did play 9. There is a stream. Not saying we are having, long cable-style commercial breaks.
I was going to say not the same corporate sponsorship.
Maybe one day.
Be nice for the operation up here.
Exactly. The operation is still top-notch for...
Oh, for sure. Stellar for high school or college baseball. Multi-camera. We have a nice setup up here.
Yeah, you got the 2 of us sitting up here. You can enjoy us talking about random college baseball. Well, I won't say random. Teams that these players are committed to for 2.5 hours. But Vinny Walsh is close to finishing this thing out with Marcus Leclaire at the plate. That one is hit right to third, and there is Quinn Allen. So maybe he hasn't had the best day at the plate, but he does finish it off defensively. And that is a St. John's victory. They explode for 6 runs in the 5th inning. That was the difference in the game. Final score, St. John's 11 and Gonzaga 5. And Evan, obviously that 6-run 5th was the difference. And it was kind of a weird inning, to be honest with you. St. John's did hit some home runs today, hit 3 of them, but none of them came in that 6th. It was errors. It was infield grounders. They hit it around the defense. That inning just kind of exploded for them.
Yeah, it was a wild game for the offense. They had moments of excitement, but other moments of just grinding through at-bats and grinding past Noah Pothom and his style of pitching. The way he worked in the zone, out of the zone, with a good slider and a good fastball with that arm side run. But overall, the Cadets hitters did a really good job of taking advantage of the fastball early in the count, taking advantage of the defensive shifts that had plagued them for the first 4 innings of offense. So it's good to see them as a lineup kind of turn that around. And then on the other side of the ball, pitching was fantastic. After Ethan Mishra's early struggles, he really settled in, found the strike zone, and was able to get ahead of hitters. We saw that stretch of 5 straight strikeouts. And then the bullpen, as it's been all year, has done a really good job of shutting down opposing offenses.
Yeah, so it was the big 6-run 5th inning that was the difference. Also offensively, obviously, the big star was Jason Schiavone, who had 2 home runs in the game. Both of them hit out to right field. So once again, for our entire crew here from St. John's College High School, my partner Evan Flax, I'm Connor Newcomb signing off from D.C. One more time, your final score, St. John's 11 and Gonzaga 5. We thank you so much for watching and hope you enjoy the rest of your week.